Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaopen.com. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. I am so delighted you're here with me today. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I know is affecting so many people right now, and that is how to clear your energy when you're feeling in a slump or you're feeling very low energy. Maybe you just don't feel like yourself. There are a lot of heavy energies going on right now. And even just things happening in the world are causing us to become emotionally, energetically drained. But I also believe that there's a call right now for many people to bring to the surface what is no longer serving them so that they can let it go and then step into a newer and better version of themselves. And I think we're all being called to do that right now, especially if you're going through this spiritual awakening. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to clear your energy and how to start moving into that newer and better version of yourself. So if you've been feeling sluggish lately or just not like yourself, you've had a lot of heavy emotions, then this is the episode for you. But before we get started today, I do have a word from our sponsor. I would love to introduce you to World Awakenings by Karl Gruber.
Welcome to the podcast, World Awakenings, the Fast Track to Enlightenment YouTube channel. World Awakenings is the channel that seeks the knowledge and answers to all things spiritual, metaphysical, and enlightening. And we do that by having some of the world's greatest teachers, authors, and experts as our guests. If you're seeking a better, healthier, happier, more loving, joyful, and abundance-filled life, then you've come to the right place. The World Awakenings, the Fast Track to Enlightenment podcast with me, your host, Karl Gruber. If you want to know more about the law of attraction, A Course in Miracles, metaphysics, trance channels, energy and chakra healing, and more, you'll find it right here on the World Awakenings channel. This is the podcast, World Awakenings, the Fast Track to Enlightenment. Welcome to the show.
All right, so go and check out that podcast. And now we are going to talk about what I know you guys have been waiting here to hear about, which is how to clear your energy. Why is it important to do that? How do you do it? How can we move into this next phase of our lives where we are becoming more of who we really want to be and who we came here to be? We didn't come to Earth to be depressed and have low energy and not love our lives. We really didn't. But we did come here to learn lessons. And a big part of that is unlearning a lot of the stuff that we've been programmed to learn since we came here. We've been learning these things from birth, and we have to unlearn them. And it also comes with learning how to let go of the painful aspects of those lessons we've learned, how to keep the lesson but lose the pain, and how to let go of what isn't really serving us and what's keeping us stuck in life so we can move forward. And as I said, so that we can live our best version of ourselves, be our best versions of ourselves. And I have a few tips for how to clear your energy. Now, you know, we are all made up of energy, and every time we experience something, whether someone says something mean to us or someone says something kind to us, it affects our energy. And it can affect us either in a very positive way or it can affect us in a very negative way. There's a lot of negativity going on right now in the world. We all know that. And we've been through so much, and it's been very traumatic the past few years. I know it has been for me. I've had a lot of very difficult and heavy things going on, and I think most people have, even just surviving what's happening right now in the world. So how do we clear that energy? I did a podcast episode on my Patreon page that talked about how sometimes when we are affected by trauma, it can cause us to fragment parts of our soul. And we do that for protection because when we experience something, it can be so painful that our brain says, okay, this is too painful for us to experience, so we're going to shut this off right now. And so we kind of numb ourselves. And in the psychology world, we would call it dissociating, but we just kind of go through life going through the motions because it's too painful to really experience what we're dealing with in our everyday lives. And so sometimes what that can look like for us is just going through the motions, right? And I know I've been there many times in my life where it was too painful to really deal with what I was having to deal with. So I just checked out. So if you're emotionally checked out, you're not really fully present in your life, this is a sign or a signal that you need to work on some energy healing. In this podcast episode, I talked about how we need to do a soul retrieval, which is where we call back those certain parts to us. So if you're interested in that, you can get a free trial of my Patreon page for 7 days. So I encourage you to go over there and check it out. You can sign up and then cancel at any time. But you can go and listen to that particular podcast episode because I think it goes really well with this one. And you can also join us for our live card reading on Mondays because those are a lot of fun too. But we experience these heavy things. And if we don't clear that energy, it can cause us to feel tired, we have no energy, we can feel listless, we can feel stuck, like we have a lack of sense of purpose in life. It causes so many different things, and it can eventually cause us to become physically sick if we're not clearing our energy. I actually am in the process of writing my next book about my grief journey after I lost my mom. And one of the things I talk about is if you don't deal with it, if you don't heal the pain and the trauma and all the things that you're going through, it's going to show up in other ways in your body because it doesn't go away. It stays stored there in our cellular memory, and it's up to us to really heal things and to deal with it. So part of that is healing our energy and clearing our energy. So how do you do that? I'll tell you, if you do not do an energetic clearing every now and then, you're just going to feel crappy. It's just how it is. It's also like when you don't detox your body every now and then too, it makes you feel kind of yucky and you feel sluggish. Same thing. You've got to clear your energy too. So what are some helpful ways to do that? So one of the ways you can clear your energy is by doing this first thing in the morning. It's always a great idea to have a morning ritual or routine because you're setting yourself up for how your day is going to go. And isn't it nice to set the intention that you're going to have a good day? It's so much better than just waking up and wandering through life, just not really paying any attention, and then all these things start happening to you. When we manifest and we set this intention that this is going to be a good day, it's going to be a beautiful day, things start to work out and flow a little bit easier and a little bit better than if we're just wandering through life not really paying attention. So it's important to have a good morning routine. Now, one of the things that you can do in the morning is to listen to some affirmations. Those are really helpful. There's one that is on YouTube, and I believe it was by Abraham Hicks. It's Esther Hicks. She channels Abraham. And so she did this morning routine, and it starts off with, it's going to be a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. And she just keeps kind of repeating that and other things over and over again. But listening to that in the background while you're getting your makeup on or shaving or whatever it is that you do, whether you're male or female, whatever you do in the morning to get ready, if you're fixing your cup of coffee, having that on in the background really does make a difference. Or having affirmations that you say to yourself and being intentional that I'm saying these affirmations to make sure that I have a really good day. I like the affirmation that says, "Thank you, universe, for showing me how amazing my life can be." Or "Thank you for all of the amazing opportunities you're bringing me today." It's really kind of fun to be playful with some of these affirmations, like, "Thank you, universe, for showing me how blessed I am today." And then just watching what shows up when you start with that. Another thing that you can do in the morning, I was just reading an article, and there's a woman named Donna Eden, and she has a daily energy routine. And one of the things that she does is a tapping. And so she does this, she calls it pulsing, but it's very similar to tapping, and tapping on your cheekbones in the morning and doing some deep breaths. So go check out Donna Eden on YouTube, her daily energy routine. That's another really great way to clear your energy. And her last name is just Eden, Donna Eden. She does the tapping on the cheeks and does the slow, deep breaths. And in that way, what you're doing is grounding yourself. Deep breathing is a really great way to clear your energy and to bring yourself back to center. And so she has you do this as well as the tapping. And it's a really quick, easy morning routine that you can do. So you might want to go check that out. I really like doing that. And I love tapping anyway. I think EFT, emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping, is a great way to get out any of the negative emotions that we're feeling and to help bring us back to balance in our emotions. So another thing that you can do in the morning is to meditate. People think that in order to do meditation, it has to be a 20-minute or hour meditation. It doesn't. You can do a quick little 3-minute meditation in the morning. So before you even get out of bed in the morning, you could do a quick little guided meditation. Or if you take a shower in the morning, another really great thing to do is the shower meditation, which is where you envision that the water that is coming out of the top of your shower head is light energy, and it's washing down through your entire body. And as it is, all of that negative energy is just washing down throughout your entire body, going all the way out through the bottoms of your feet, swirling around in that drain and leaving you. And instead, you're replaced with this beautiful light energy that's coming down through your shower head. Listening to binaural beats or any kind of energetic cleansing music is also great. There are certain frequencies that you can listen to, like the solfeggio frequencies. Just do a search on YouTube for energetic music, and you will find a lot of things. But anything that you find soothing and that makes you feel good, play that in the background while you're getting ready, while you're taking a shower, even while you're driving in the car sometimes. That can really help you to improve your mood and to really stabilize your energy. I really love that. And those of you who have listened to me for a while, you're going to laugh at this next one, because I always joked about how I don't like yoga and I wish I liked yoga. But guess what? I've learned to appreciate yoga. I was feeling really crummy, and I've been feeling this way energetically for quite a few weeks. And I know it has everything to do with what's going on right now. And it also has to do with things that are happening astrologically too. It's just right now we're experiencing a lot of heavy energy. So I decided that I needed to do something. And the things that I normally do were okay, but they weren't working like they normally do. So I thought, I need to try something new. Something just said to me, I'm sure it was my guides, just yelling in my ear because I'm sure they think I don't listen very well. But something said, just try yoga again. Just try it. So I did. I didn't do a routine where I followed someone on YouTube. Instead, I just looked at some of the poses and I found a routine. And it was just, it was actually on Pinterest. And it was a bunch of different poses that it said, do these 3 times through, breathe this many times, hold your breath for this long. So I tried it. I did it. And I felt much better afterwards, and I slept like a baby. And I thought that was super helpful. And what I think was really necessary and why I needed to do it is because it's keeping your body fluid, which is helping the energy to flow better. So sometimes when we're feeling that blah feeling, it's because our energy's stuck in our bodies. We need to move. Movement is so super important for helping to get your energy flowing. So making sure that you're moving somehow, whether it's through yoga or just stretching or going for a walk, doing some sort of exercise routine, making sure you're drinking lots of water and trying to eat a little healthier, because detoxing our body is really important right now. I think we hold on to a lot of stuff, and most of us, even though maybe we want to try to eat well or drink healthy things, let's face it, we don't. Life gets busy, and sometimes we mindlessly eat things, and later we're like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that, or oh, I've been eating like crap, and now I feel like crap. So it's important for us to detox things now and then, making sure we're drinking lots of water, eating the right kinds of food. It's so super important. And I've been learning a lot about hormone balance and lowering cortisol levels, because and when you get to be my age in your 40s, especially as women, it's really, really hard to maintain our health because we get so stressed out, and that being stressed out all of the time, that increases our cortisol levels, and that does a lot of really bad things. It interrupts our sleep. We feel more stressed out. We feel tired. We put on more weight. So it's important to really control our hormones, and I may do a whole podcast about that. I did do one on my Patreon page, but I may do that for this podcast as well, to just talk about how do you balance your hormones and how do you control that cortisol, because that can cause so many problems for you that you're not even realizing. It's not caused because this is just, your doctors will say, you're just getting older. It's a natural part of life. You just have to deal with it. And that's not true. Yes, it is because you're getting older, but there are ways to fight it and to combat it. And so there are a lot of really good doctors out there who are putting some awesome information out there about how we can do that so that we can feel better. But clearing your energy is one way. Detoxing is a really, really good thing for your body. And stretching and moving your body is a super important part of that. It's also important to release any emotional and mental baggage. And sometimes that requires us to do some forgiveness work, which most people, when I say that, they roll their eyes at me and they're like, I don't want to forgive anybody. And I get it. Sometimes you think it feels good to hold a grudge, and we don't want to have to let go of our side, and we don't want to have to forgive anyone, because then we think we're saying that what they did is okay, or we're going to open ourselves up for them to do that to us again, and that's not true. Forgiveness really is more about you, and it doesn't have anything to do with the other person, and you don't even have to tell the other person that you forgive them. It's all about you letting go of those heavy emotions you're holding on to, because the emotions like resentment and anger and all of those things are not good for you, and they will make you physically sick. So you need to work through that and let go of that. And I talk about forgiveness work in my book, Beautifully Broken, which you can get on Amazon. I have a whole chapter on it and why it's important and how you can do it. And I even have some tools there for you to use. The other thing that you can do to help get yourself grounded is to go out in nature more. When we go out and we appreciate nature, I think that is one thing that truly helps us, because when we connect nature to the universe, we realize we're all one with the universe, and look how abundant nature is. I was saying this the other day. We go through winter and everything dies, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's so dreary looking. All of the leaves are gone, the flowers are gone, and then spring comes around. And then everything becomes vibrant again. And what we realize is that we all have periods of time in our life where things seem to be dreary, and then they get vibrant again. What it's showing us is that no matter what you're going through, the sun always comes out again. The flowers always come back again. You can have this beautiful, vibrant life again. We just have to get back into alignment with things. And so getting out there in nature, I think, is a really, really great reminder. It's also really grounding to be in nature. And I just love connecting and listening to the animals while I'm sitting out and having my cup of coffee. I always think that's wonderful. And again, it's very grounding. Take your shoes off and put your feet in the grass. You'll really learn to appreciate a lot of things when you connect to Mother Earth. It's amazing how that works. There's also another thing that I wanted to talk to you about that I also used recently that helped to get me out of my funk and helped me to really clear my energy and to feel better. I have been using LifeWave patches for several years now, and I just absolutely love them. I first started using them when I had this pain in my shoulder. I didn't know why this pain was appearing in my shoulder, but I knew I had been lifting some books over my head, and I thought, well, maybe that's why. So I don't like to take over-the-counter pain medication. I just really don't like to take it, and I try to avoid it when I can. It's just a personal preference for me. If you take over-the-counter pain medicine or prescription pain medicine, totally your choice, and I have nothing against that. I just, for my own personal self, I don't want to do that. So I wanted to find something that would help alleviate this pain because it hurt. And I think a big part of it too was because of COVID. I was sitting at my desk more rather than being up and teaching because we had days where we had kids and days where we didn't. And so the days we didn't have kids, we were sitting and grading and working at our desks. So I ordered the LifeWave X39 patches and I put them on my back, like where it was hurting on the back of my shoulder. Not expecting anything, right? I'm like, oh, here we go. I bought these. We'll see. And within an hour, that pain was gone. I was shocked. Now, I wore them for like 12 hours is what they suggest. And then I took them off and, well, the pain came back. So the next day I put them back on and then the pain was gone. And I wore them a while and then took them off and had a little pain again. But the next day I put them on. And after wearing them I had to wear them solidly for about a week or so, the pain didn't come back again. I was shocked. I was like, what is this? And so I started to read up on the patches themselves because I just bought those just to try them. But I had to see, okay, what is this? Why is this relieving pain? And what I learned was that LifeWave patches actually use phototherapy. They capture the visible and infrared light that's already in your body. So there's absolutely no medication in these patches whatsoever. It simply uses the infrared light that's in our own bodies. And then this infrared light, or again, it's called phototherapy. The patch acts as a mechanism that reflects the visible infrared light back into the body. And that stimulates cellular activity, and it stimulates the production of a copper peptide, which then activates stem cells. And so these patches are so incredible. And the guy who has created these patches, David Schmidt, he used his understanding of science to really develop these products, and they've been in development for over 30 years, which is crazy because I had not heard about these until just recently, but they're incredible and they work like acupressure. And acupressure is like acupuncture, and it's based on the concept that we have all these human energy fields that flow through the meridians in the body. And the belief that's been long held in traditional Chinese medicine is that blockages in these meridians, which is why I'm talking about these patches today when I'm talking about energy clearing, blockages in those meridians are what cause health problems, disease, and illness. And so by applying slight pressure to various acupuncture points, which correspond to these different meridians, the belief is that the symptoms can be relieved. And so these patches sort of act like this acupressure where it reflects, we put them on the certain meridian points and it reflects that infrared light and it puts it back into the body, which then stimulates, again, it stimulates the production of this copper peptide. And that's what activates stem cells. So it's really amazing. And they have many different patches. I started with the X39 for the pain, but they do actually have ice wave patches, which work for pain. Those are great too, because I had, being 45, almost 46, if I sleep wrong, like I tilt my neck, and it's amazing, isn't it? Because I used to watch my children when they were in the car asleep as kids, and their necks would be hanging down so in such weird positions. I'm like, that has to hurt. That cannot feel good. but it never seemed to bother them. Yet me as a 45-year-old, if I turn my head slightly to the wrong direction, I wake up and can't even turn my head, right? It hurts, you have pain. I know I'm not the only one out there who's experienced that. Well, these LifeWave patches are amazing because I've had to use the IceWave patches a couple of times this week because I slept on my neck wrong, and it's been so helpful in that. But also, they have these patches for, they're called Nirvana patches, and it's for anxiety and it's for mood enhancement. And so I thought about that particular patch when I was talking about how to really clear your energy and how to boost your mood if you've been feeling like you're in a funk lately, because these things are wonderful for doing that too. And another one that I really love is the energy patch, because the first time I put those on, I thought, okay, I'm just going to try these and see how they are. I wasn't really expecting too much. And I put them on, and within 15 minutes of doing that, all of a sudden I was like, I need to clean my house. And I went through and I did so many things, and I stopped and I realized, oh my gosh, I would never have gotten this much stuff done normally, but I just had this sudden burst of energy and it was awesome. So the energy patches, energy enhancers, those are really great too. And they do have a special going on this month, but if the LifeWave patches are something that you're interested in at all, I already have a whole podcast episode about them where I interviewed Joyce Gimfield, and she is really, really knowledgeable about the LifeWave patches, and she explains so well how they work. And there's also a Facebook group, and you can join the Facebook group if you're interested at all. You can go to the show notes in today's episode, and I can invite you to join the Facebook group where you can learn more about them. You can see all of the ways people are using them and what they've been helping people with. And a lot of people who have had autoimmune diseases, one of the things that they really do well is to combat inflammation. And we know that inflammation in the body causes a lot of different things. So one of the things I absolutely love about these patches are that they're really good for helping detox the body too. So they provide rapid pain relief, they reduce inflammation, they support wound healing. I had a cyst on my leg and I had to have it removed. And I had about 4 stitches in my leg, and I put the patches on around where I had the cyst removed, and I was so amazed at how quickly that wound healed. And even the doctor was like, oh my gosh, that healed really quickly. I didn't tell them that I was putting patches there, but it really did. It healed so fast. And when my sister cut her finger, I gave her one of my patches and she put it there, and it healed so well. In fact, she kept asking me, do you have more patches? Because she was having pain there too. And not only did it stop the pain, but it also helped it to heal faster. They provide energy and vitality, mental clarity. They're really good at enhancing sports performance. It's amazing how many professional athletes actually use these patches too. You get faster recovery from exercise, and they can also improve your skin appearance. There's a whole line of patches called Aloe Vita. And they also have the Aloe Vita Trio, which comes with lotion, and it comes with another thing to put on your face. And it's supposed to help your skin and to keep you feeling and looking youthful. And I know that I like to use the Aloe Vita patches too. But another one is great if you're having trouble sleeping, is they do have the Silent Night patches as well. They have the SP6 if you're interested in trying to lose weight, control cravings and things like that. There's so many amazing patches that it's really difficult to list everything that they have. But if you're interested, you can join the Facebook group and you can go and just kind of spy on what everybody else is saying in the Facebook group, because I've seen some amazing posts and things people are saying that these patches have really helped them with. I know that there have been people on there talking about how they've been suffering with autoimmune diseases, and these patches have been really helpful to them. So if you're interested, I will have the link in the show notes and you can go and check those out. And I'll also have the link to order the patches, because you might be like me. You may just want to say, you know what, I'm just going to try it and see what happens. And that's what I did. And I started with the X39. I think that's a good one to start with. But again, you can always go to the Facebook group and join it. And there's a lot of really great information on YouTube too. David Schmidt, who again was the founder of LifeWave and created these patches, he talks about how they work and what you can use them for. And so I'm really just loving the results that I'm getting from these patches. And I think they really are good at helping with energetic clearings. So that's why I mentioned them today. So you can check that out by going to the Facebook group, go to the link in the show notes, or if you want to just go on there and try them and purchase your pack of patches, you can do that too. And I'll have the link there for you to also purchase them. But go check them out and see how great they work. I love going to YouTube and watching those videos to see how people are using them. I know there are a lot of acupuncturists who are also using the LifeWave patches, and some of them use them also to do the lymphatic sweeps, which if you've never heard of that, we sometimes have to do a lymphatic sweep to drain our lymph system. It gets backed up and that causes swelling and inflammation. And so that's a good way to do that. And again, patches are really good for detoxing the body too. So check those out. And as always, be kind and gentle with yourself right now, because this really is a very, very difficult time for a lot of people. This energy is really tough, but it's happening for a reason. We're supposed to be learning from it. We are supposed to be looking at our lives and seeing what's not working right now and how can we change that. And so I wanted to pull a card for you today before I ended our podcast. And I decided to pull a card from my deck, Divine Whispers. And the card that came out is Love Yourself First. The universe is asking you to put yourself and your own needs first today. You take such good care of everyone else. You are nurturing, kind, and loving. But you have been neglecting yourself, my love. Do something kind for you today. Go get a massage, a manicure or pedicure, or a facial. Feed your intellectual mind too. Curl up with a good book and a glass of wine, or go for a walk in nature. Take some time out to meditate or tap. Whatever you do, be sure to nurture yourself today. Nurture your mind, body, and spirit. After all, you can't fill everyone else's cup if your cup is empty. There are some self-care mantras that go along with this card that you can say to yourself each day. And the first one is, I give myself permission to take time out today. I am slowing down and becoming aware of my own needs. Today, I will put myself first. I deserve love just as much as anyone else. I am honoring my needs today. All right, I love that. I hope that you are honoring your needs. I hope that you take time to clear that energy and refuel yourself so that you can live your absolute best life and be the best version of you possible. And of course, the best version of you possible is one who is happy and healthy and whole. And so I hope that you are all of those things and that you're taking care of yourself because you deserve it. If you would like to join us over on Patreon, the link for that is in the show notes. Again, you can get a free 7-day trial. You can go ahead once you get in the trial and see all of the amazing content that is already on Patreon, whether it is extra podcast episodes, guided meditations, or card readings. You can also join us for a live card reading. You can cancel at any time. Or if you decide that you like it and you want to stay with us, it's just $10 a month. I would love to see you over there. Also, don't forget to check out World Awakenings by Karl Gruber, a great new podcast who sponsored the show today. And I hope that you guys have a beautiful day from wherever you're listening. As always, I am sending you so much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.